Hey guys, so I am going to be making some smothered pork chops with gravy. I'm on my way to work in a couple hours, so I'm actually making 2 new meals, but I'm just going to film one. I'll make some chicken noodle soup for my kids. That's really for a snack or for tomorrow, but I'm going to be making smothered pork chops with gravy over rice. I like it with rice. Some people do mashed potatoes. I'm not a huge mashed potato fan. My kids are not huge mashed potato fans. Some of them are, some aren't. So I always go with rice because it's my favorite. This is actually one of my favorite meals, and gravy is something that is not really easy to do, but I like mine gravy. So here we go. My seasonings, just basic seasonings. I usually use a lot more onion than I have, so I'm gonna make do with what I got. Seasonings, the actual pork chops, I'm gonna use pork loins, center cut chops. They're thinly sliced. I don't typically use thinly sliced for smothered, but that's what they had. That's what I bought. My flour, my Worcestershire sauce, and grease. And if there's anything else that I'm forgetting right now, I'll let you know about it. So hush up. Don't be talking it. I know, that's gonna be later, okay, man? Well, I'm gonna call Auntie Gina to see if she's gonna come get you guys. Okay, so, sorry, y'all. So right here I've cleaned and seasoned my chops. These are really thin cut chops. They're probably gonna all but disintegrate when I brown them for my gravy, but oh well, I've never used chops so thin. I put a little drop of Worcestershire sauce, but I really use that for my gravy to flavor it and kind of darken it too. Here's my dredge. I got some paprika, onion, garlic powder, a little bit of seasoning salt, some parsley, and some black pepper. I season my meat and I season my dredge. I season everything. Then of course I'm gonna re-season the gravy when I make that. But I feel like when you season both of them, it just makes the flavors pop a little bit better. That's, how our people do it. So we season up everything, step-by-step seasoning, okay? So nothing is bland. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dredge these up and get them ready to fry them in a shallow pan with my vegetable oil. I'm just gonna brown them lightly this time because they are so thin. I don't want them to be like super duper hard and crispy before I get a chance to smother them in the gravy, okay? So I was definitely frying these very gently instead of harsh because they're so thin, like I said. I don't want them to disintegrate and be like hard and super chewy. So I just flipped them for the first time and I'm literally about to take them out like in a couple of seconds. I don't want them to get too done. I'm gonna give you guys a nice good view of them while they were frying up. I want a nice medium low heat. Like I said, I already dredged them in the flour and frying them really low and slow. Okay, so I'm gonna let these chill out for a second while I prepare my little gravy station. Actually, I'm lying. I'm about to fry up one left over. I'm about to fry it up crispy so I can eat it. So I'm gonna let these chill out while I make myself my own crispy pork chop. Don't let these fool you. They may look brown, but they are not done. When you make gravy, you just brown the meat. You don't cook it all. To start building my roux, I have that grease that's left over from when I fried the pork chops. I poured a lot of it off because it was a lot of grease. And just a regular cup of the flour. You guys be quiet, please. That it's unseasoned. It's straight out the bag. I don't measure anything. This is like the 1 cup measuring cup, but I don't really measure. So you just dump this in. Sometimes I add my onions now, sometimes I don't. Today I'm not gonna add my onions till later. So I'm gonna add the flour and can you guys turn that TV down some? You have to like keep an eye on it and stir it up. I have a whisk, but I don't really want to use it right now. See how it's still liquidy as the flour dissolves? So you have to just add more flour because you're going to make it kind of like a paste, okay? A paste that you're going to brown. Stop saying that word. So I dumped the rest of that flour in there because I obviously need a lot. The heat is on kind of high. I think I'm going to turn it down a little bit because I don't want the flour and everything to burn. I just want it to brown. So I need my other hand. That's really why I actually have a tripod that I need to start using, because I really want to be able to show you guys. Because I added even more flour. Now I'm just stirring it. I'm gonna keep stirring it. I want it to stay kind of thick and pasty like this, because I'm gonna add the cold water to it after it browns a little bit more. See how it's getting brown? That's really how you brown your gravy. Sometimes when I don't have the time to do it the right way, to brown the roux, I just use like that. There's an actual browning, it's called kitchen bouquet. Sometimes I use that. That's old school. My mama used to use that when she didn't have time to brown the gravy. But if you got the time, do it this way. Because something about the actual cooking of the flour to brown it makes a difference in the flavor in your gravy. It tastes good. What you did not see me do is I went from a pot to a pan. I went ahead and added my roux that I'm browning to a bigger pan. Because like once I start to add the water, I make like a lot of gravy. I don't really know how to make a little bit of anything. So I needed room, and that pan that I was using was really small. So now I'm gonna add my water, cold water, a little bit at a time. It's gonna seize up on you. That's why, like I said, I need a lot of room, because I ended up having to add a lot of water. And it would have, by the time I added the water to the pot plus the pork chops to simmer, it would have overflowed that little pot I was using. So okay, so yeah, you just keep stirring and adding your cold water, stirring and adding your cold water till it gets to a consistency that you want. And don't worry about the gravy being kind of light at this point, because once you add that water, it does tend to lighten back up. But as you cook it and let it simmer, it is going to get darker. And of course, you're going to add a couple drops of, I'm going to add a couple drops of my Worcestershire sauce in a minute. I'll use Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, anything I can add to just a little bit of flavor. And right now, I'm about to season it up. It looks like gravy at this point. Right now, it doesn't taste like anything. It literally just tastes like flour and water, because that's literally all it is flour and water and the oil. Flour, water, oil, yeah. So you have to re-season it. And usually, I typically just re-season my gravy with the exact same things that I season the pork chops with, or the chicken, whatever I made. I just use the same seasonings, because you want it all to kind of taste the same, right? So it's a good consistency. I might add a little bit more water to it, because it's kind of thickening it up as it's cooking. And I'm gonna season it. Seasoned it, and I added my onions to it. I only had a little tiny bit of like a quarter of an onion, and that's all I'm going with today, because I got some onion powder, because I was not going to the store, because I gotta go to work, and I'm trying to do as little as possible before I go to work. And yes, I do see that I am definitely going to add more water. I do not, you guys, I do not want this to be gritty or too thick. I want them pork chops to be able to simmer nice and low and slow in their little gravy bath. So I am going to add a little bit more water. Taste it as you go, because you want to be able to add either more seasonings if you need it, if it's too bland, or more water if it's too seasoned, okay? Before you submerge your pork chops, because once you do that, once you submerge your meat, it ain't really no turning back. So it's a really good consistency, really good flavor. Now is the time to put them pork chop babies on in here and let them relax for a little while. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my babe. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. There's a lot of pork chops. They little though. It's like 6 of them I'm putting in here, but they're little. And get them all covered and smothered. If y'all aren't watching that TV, you know, you can turn it off. Cover them up. And then you still gotta turn them and stuff. I'm gonna cover them up with the gravy, submerge every one, see? And then cover it up, make sure the heat is on low, and let them cook like that. When I tell y'all, these chops is falling off the bone tender. Taste She told me everything. She said it be so. She never said that we would curse, cry, and scream and lie. Okay, so no more singing. The rice is done. This is my plan ticket for work. And I know with the corn, I'm double starching it up, but it just looks prettier that way, and I love corn. And these are actually canned vegetables because Mama don't have no fresh vegetables right now. So sometimes you got to kind of go with what you got versus what you really want. And the rice is under there, the pork chop. I got some hot sauce. I'll wrap this up for work. And there we go. Finished product. Oh.